We have some breaking weather news out of the Midwest. A tornado emergency has been declared in Little Rock, Arkansas. A line of severe thunderstorms reportedly spawned at least one massive tornado. There are early reports of extensive damage, look at that, in and around Little Rock. Up to 600 so far are hurt. And a scary scene unfolding in Iowa, in the central part of the state, where storm chasers captured several funnel clouds trying to touch the ground. Tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings are up for a major part of the central Midwest right now. Take a look at that, Jason Michael. That's pretty typical this time of year for that part of the country, right?
It is actively, actually a situation that is actively happening there. It is usual for this time of year, not unusual, because the northerly jet is retreating and it's allowing for these daytime heated storms to really start to bubble up, mainly after that 3 p.m. hour, carrying through about sunset. So this is what we have unfolding there. And the reason why we have that unfolding there, Russ, is because such a strong front is carving a path through the country.
I see. In Mississippi a couple weeks ago, of course, we had that. Now we're seeing this here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're not going to be done with that. In fact, we're likely going to have this happening here over the next couple weeks or so until we kind of balance things out. So let's talk about radar, at least what it looks like here in Northeast Ohio. For now, we are beginning to enter into a little bit of a dry pattern before our next wave of energy roars on through. So let's enlarge the sort of the picture here and show you what's happening across the area, mainly for the residents back over towards Illinois as well as Iowa. This is sort of the breeding ground for these storms expected to move through the area for the rest of the evening. The biggest threat is going to be concentrated west of Northeast Ohio, I should also say west of the Buckeye State. Once we get into the overnight hours, this is where the energy starts to move eastward. So we have a lot of cold air back towards Nebraska, even moving towards the Dakotas region. They have winter weather alerts in effect there because of these sort of bimodal type of storms happening in the northern portion and as well as in the southern portion. This is why Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois are the three states that we're watching for the rest of the evening. Wind alerts for us out in the east, wind alerts back towards the Central Plains from Kansas down through Oklahoma, as well as the panhandle of Texas. So the biggest threats for you today is going to be Illinois, back towards Missouri, Arkansas, as well as Tennessee and northern Mississippi. For us tomorrow, because we're likely going to get all that energy squeezed out for the most part west, this is going to lead towards a low-end event for us tomorrow. However, still likely to expect some of those stronger storms. 70s already in St. Louis. Look back towards Kansas City. 69 degrees for them. We already have a little bit of warming happening towards Lincoln, Nebraska. This is where the area of low pressure is going to be trending. So as it moves eastward, it's going to be pulling in milder conditions. And remember I said before, a strong frontal boundary is moving through. This is why we're going to be having some of those high wind gusts. 25, 30, 35 mile per hour gusts overnight tonight. Some areas could exceed 40, 45, perhaps even getting higher than 50 mile per hour gusts for Saturday afternoon. Through the evening hours, once the frontal boundaries pass, we change wind directions, we change wind speeds, we have a northerly wind, and we start to clear things out and stabilize for Sunday. Because I said before, we have the highest level of threats west of us for today. We're going to be on that low end for us tomorrow. Usually, I would say maybe about a marginal 1 out of 5 risk for you for Saturday afternoon. Here's your National Designer hour-by-hour forecast. 50s continuing through the rest of the evening. We have a bit of a break around midnight, and then another wave of energy roars through between 3, 4, perhaps even 5 a.m. West moving towards east. We get a break. Warmest conditions likely to happen around sunrise, and then once the frontal boundary passes, temperatures fall. We have 50s giving way to perhaps even 40s by the time we get to 1, 2 p.m., and then we have a little bit of a changeover effect here. This is likely going to be mainly lake enhanced event that's happening if we have a little bit of a rain snow mixing on over. However, I think that's still going to stay outside of our area until we get past about bedtime Saturday night. Northerly winds continue. High pressure back in control for Sunday. We clear things out that allow temperatures to fall. Waking up on Sunday morning, 7 a.m. All models are trending towards 20s, 30s by mid to late morning, back into the 40s in the afternoon. I think some areas could touch on near 50 degrees. So that is what it looks like, at least for the weekend. With the rainfall accumulations in the forecast, some models are forecasting 4/10 of an inch, a ½ inch. I think some models could even go a little bit higher than that. Some have been a little bit more conservative rather than others. This is the RPM model. I I showed you the Euro model, so you can see both of them are pretty much in agreement. So we could have some isolated spots that are a little bit higher than that. Let's look at the big picture. How does this unfold across the lower 48 from a bigger standpoint? This is the system moving eastward Friday night into Saturday. We start to have that wraparound flow for Saturday, late morning into the early afternoon. Rain switching over to a little bit of rain slick, I think, mixed for you tomorrow afternoon in the early afternoon. And then once the low has passed, we get a little bit of blue coming on in. We go back into the cold nature, and it feels like winter waking up on Sunday morning. But we do not stay there. Here's your Junior Home Mortgage 7-day outlook. Mild and sunny by Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, look, we start to trend a bit more wet again by Tuesday. Scattered showers, and I think some of them could be a bit more isolated. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Wednesday. Models are forecasting 70s to be out ahead of our next frontal boundary. This is likely going to be a weather active day for us. Once the frontal boundary passes, high pressure returns, sunny mix of clouds by Thursday, and even by Friday, you can see that rest to guards are going to be playing with lots of sunshine, few clouds, low 50s for afternoon highs.
We've had snow on opening day before. That looks fantastic next week.
We're going to hold with this trend.
All right, we like it. All right, Jason, thanks.